Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel Bhagavad-gita. Here it is, because we have it, Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and my name is Labanga Latika. We are reading Bhagavad-gita, chapter 10, the opulence of the Absolute. And here we're hearing about Krishna, because that is actually the whole point. We want to hear about Krishna. So if you are new to this channel, I would actually recommend, if you have the time and interest, to go back. I made this playlist for each chapter, because Krishna builds this book up, or for him it's of course a conversation, chapter by chapter, and each chapter adds another layer that makes it more easy or possible for us to actually understand Krishna, to actually come to that level of realization. So now we're in the 10th chapter, and it is a wonderful chapter, and you are welcome to stay with us in this chapter. But if you like, you can also go back and check the other chapters out. This is text 6 we're reading today. Maharshaya sapta purve chatvaro manavastata madbhava manasa jata yeshang loka imang pradyaha. The 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them. Purport. The Lord is giving a genealogical synopsis of the universal population. Brahma is the original creator, born out of the energy of the Supreme Lord, who is known as Hiranyagarbha. And from Brahma, all the 7 sages, and before them 4 other great sages named Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar. And the 14 Manus are manifested. Woohoo! There's many names here. If you go to the Bhagavatam, there are many chapters that are philosophical, many chapters that are in story form, telling us something that happened to some persons involved. But then we also have these genealogical tables that we find also in the Bible, and many of us kind of find it a little boring. But when we read the Bhagavatam, then these persons, they come back in the stories, and these genealogical tables give us the chance to get a bigger perspective, to put things into context. But here, Brahma is the original creature. That's what I was not reading. I think I read the original creator. I'm sorry about that. Brahma is also a creator in a sense, because he is the first living entity in the universe. When he appears, he's born, he comes from Krishna. He doesn't have a mother and a father. He comes directly from a lotus flower growing out of the abdomen of Lord Vishnu in the universe. That at that point, there's nothing else there. And then Brahma is given the service of putting things together, planet, different life forms, everything. And then Krishna, or Vishnu rather, in the form of Vishnu, glances over them and impregnates them with the living entities, us, who have some business here in this world. And then the others come from Brahma. So we hear about the 7 great sages, and they actually live on, what do you call it in English? It's a star constellation. I think they call it the Great Dipper. Maybe there is another more proper term. I don't know. But we know it. It looks like actually a big scoop with a handle. It's in the north, in the sky. So they live there. And the 4 Kumaras, they take birth from Lord Brahma, and they decide that they're never going to grow up, because that's just too much trouble. And they're also the beginning of another sampradaya, so they are great Vaishnavas, and they are in this world. The 14 Manus, they come here in order to take care of things in this world, and they are like the beginning of mankind in different cycles. So that's why there's so many of them. All these 25 great sages are known as the patriarchs of the living entities all over the universe. There are innumerable universes and innumerable planets within each universe, and each planet is full of population of different varieties. All of them are born of these 25 patriarchs. Brahma underwent penance for 1,000 years of the demigods before he realized by the grace of Krishna how to create. Then from Brahma came Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatan and Sanat Kumar, then Rudra, which is another name for Lord Shiva, and then the 7 sages. And in this way all the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas are born out of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahma is known as Pitamaha, the grandfather, and Krishna is known as Prapitamaha, the father of the grandfather. That is stated in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad-gita. So we will get to that. So yes, God is not there in a vacuum. We are not here in an empty world and where we can look to the sky and to the stars and just wonder where we are. Well, we can do that, and we can bring out I don't even know what you call them. When you want to look in the distance, you have an instrument for that, and they obviously have a name, but I can't think of it. But it doesn't matter how far we look. We're not going to see Krishna. We're not going to see the rest of the universe. So we take this information from Krishna because it all comes from him. And we get to hear about a history that doesn't just go back a few hundred years, a few thousand years, even back to the creation of this planet. It goes way back. So Krishna has his own spiritual planet, and we are welcome there. And in the spiritual world Vaikuntha, there are innumerable planets where different Vishnu manifestation, all have their own planets, and their devotees go there to serve them eternally, or they don't go there, they are there. But some of us, we were a little curious, or a little impatient, or a little dissatisfied, or a little, we say envious, because envy is this quality that is, how to say, we look at someone else and we can't accept that they are different than us. We're thinking, why should they have that? Why shouldn't I have that? So we see Krishna, we see Vishnu. Krishna is God, Vishnu is God. And we're wondering, why am I not God? And we are not God. There's nothing to do about the fact that we are not God. In the spiritual world, things are based on love, on voluntary acts of love, of a relationship, of a give and take. It's a very wonderful place. But if somebody doesn't want to be there, then that is not really a good idea. You cannot sit in a corner of the spiritual world and be unhappy about it. Actually, you can't really, because the spiritual world is made out of touchstone and desire trees and desire fulfilling cows. The whole idea is desires just naturally become fulfilled. There is no need to go to work and save up your money because you want something. No, because it's there in Krishna's service and everybody is giving. If you want to make a nice chutney for Krishna, the trees will naturally give you fruits, and then you will be able to do your service from your own desire. But when your desire is something else, then that desire is also fulfilled. And therefore Krishna gives us this material world. And it has so many universes, and the universes have so many planets, and we get the opportunity to try and try and try to forget Krishna. But this whole universe also has a structure, and here we hear about it, how Brahma is born. And in every universe there is a Brahma, who is a living entity like us, but in a totally different position, with a lot of power and influence in the universe, and also with the attitude to do this service for Krishna. And we hear about these great sages who are there to give us this knowledge, and we hear about the Manus who are starting the mankind, because all of us, we have to take birth, or well, some are not taking birth, some are also coming as birds from eggs, and as plants from seeds, and so on. But this has to go on. Or it doesn't have to. I guess Krishna could just, put us in a box somewhere. He doesn't do that. He gives us the opportunity to try to fulfill our desires, and at the same time, he gives us the opportunity to connect to him again, so we can start our process of spiritual realization. But this is happening in a universe that he has set up in such a way that it works. And now we get to hear about it. And some of it will be unfamiliar, and some of it will be unusual. And that's why we don't start in the 10th chapter, we start in the 2nd chapter. And by now we have gained some trust in Krishna, that we want to hear from him, we want to learn from him. And this is just one more aspect that we get to know in this way. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare